Hello and welcome to our channel, Portugal on a Shoestring.
Hi everyone, welcome back.
Hello.
To another video. I want to thank everybody for all the well wishes that they sent me last week. I'm feeling much better now, thank you very much. But it was a real boost to get them lovely messages, so thank you. This week we've been doing a little bit of everything.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag this week.
Mixed bag, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm working mostly in the bathroom, doing bits of plumbing, bits of drilling, bits of this, that and the other. You've been working in the garden?
well, I've just been doing a little bit of everything really. I'm going to show you a bit of an update on the stream, and then a little bit of gardening and a little bit of demolition. So yeah.
Yeah, she's got the demolition hammer out again. So we've been here about 7 months now, and we decided that next week we'll do a bit of a question and answer session. So if you want to send any questions in that you'd like us to answer, how we've got on, or anything in particular, we've got some questions already people have sent in, and we'll do them. But if there's any others, please comment below, and we'll try and get them in as well. Yeah, cool.
We'll do that.
So that'll be next week. So look out for that one.
Okay.
And enjoy the video.
Yeah. Bye.
My little experiment to grow peppers for the first time. It's gone okay. This is the first time I've planted red peppers, and I actually have got a red pepper ready to be picked, which I'm really pleased about. The others are a bit traffic lighty. So look, red, green and amber. Also, they're quite funky. There's another one down here. It's got a tiny orange glow on it. But this one down here is starting to rot a little bit. So I think I'm just going to give up and pick them all. This is a chili which I probably shouldn't have put in. It's got a bit of black on that, so I don't know whether that's okay. So they haven't even really started turning red or anything. So lessons learned, I think. I've planted them too late. I should have planted one in each pot, so separated them, and definitely not put the chili in. But they're still producing flowers. So, seeing this, see there, that's still coming out, so that's quite good. So I think I'll just pick these off, even the traffic light ones, because that's starting to get a bit of brown on, because we're getting a lot of wet weather now. So I'm going to put them in a sheltered place, but I think I'm going to I'll take them all out. I'll take 2 of these out. I'll definitely put the chili in a different pot, and I'll put this other one in another pot. See if I can keep them, if they survive over the winter. If not, I may have to start again. But overall, wasn't too bad on my first try. We'll try again next year.
I have chili tonight, so we'll get this red pepper off. Not too bad, a little skinny. Get some chilies off as well. Not sure about why that's black, or whether it's supposed to be black, but we'll take it off and see. Okay.
I finally got round to doing this as well. I juggle a few jobs really, just so I don't get bored. But a couple of videos back, I showed you some succulents that our friends gave us. So I've made a start on making this lovely succulent bed. So I've replanted the aloe up there, because that's going to grow quite big, that.
and that one that I found on my walk. So I managed to get some good big rocks. I've still got lots of stones to find to sort of use as fillers, but you can see the general gist. I'm pretty happy with that because I've never done one before. So yeah, I was thinking a bit more stone, but thank you so much to everybody that commented on and helping me how to do this and the best way to plant succulents. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Like I say, just get some more stone, but they're taking really nice. Wow, that's really we've had days of rain and storms, and I can actually see loads more rubble in there because it's dead clear. So that's brilliant. I can get some more rubble out there. But look how lovely it is flowing there. So I've worked my way along, all the way along here. I'm really happy with that. It looks really clear, really pleased. Now that there's some rains, it seems to have freed up as well. So this first time I've been down in a few days to check it out actually. So I've done all the way up here. This was where all the grapevines were, and I've cut them right back. There's like a massive rock there that sticks out from the wall. So I've got all the way up to here. So I've got to clear this. These are the grapevines. They start here and then they grow right across, and they're like big thick branches, and they grow on the wall. So I'm pretty pleased with that, considering I've been rained off quite a lot. I've not been able to touch it for about a week, and plus I wasn't very well, so whew, it's looking good after the rain, as you can see. That's good. Whoop, it's very squishy on the bank though. And again, look, it's lush and green because we've had rain. It's absolutely beautiful. But I'm allowed to use my mower and my metal tools now, so that's not too much of a problem if it stops bloody raining. Right, I thought I'd show you a view from the top of the garden, of the stream. Okay, let's go and see what else I've been up to. If you remember, if you watched the tour video when we toured around the house, you'll remember this little narrow room, which must have been a kiddie's room. She's got this crazy print on it with the little crazy monkey there. Anyway, what I've been up to, it's no good really as a room. It's just useless really. So what I'm planning on doing is knocking through to the other side to make it into a big bedroom. It's a lovely view into the garden. Obviously no window yet. So yeah, this is what I've been doing bit by bit. Now it was lime plaster. This, how high the ceiling is. Oh, let's see if we can get up there. That's very high. So yeah, I've just been doing it bit by bit. Chipping the lime plaster off, and there's wooden lats that go across
that I've been pulling out because they're nailed in. But if you can see, it's held together with some massive pieces of wood. This is marvellous. We're going to take this out and use them as shelves in the kitchen. Some of them, I don't know what else we'll do with them, but they're so good. This bit I've left because this is they've actually used concrete on this bit, not lime plaster. Now I think the reason why is because it was a doorway into the bedroom. There's a break in the skirting, so that always gives you a clue. So see there's one there. Ooh, just tripped over the ladder. And there's another one there. So there must have been a doorway through to the bedroom. So I've tried with the hammer drill with that, and it's really hard work. So I thought I'd leave it. I've got a little bit to finish at the top. So I'm almost there. But I stopped before I got to the end because I got a blister on my thumb. So I'll do that again. I'll just finish that up. But yeah, I thought I might be able to just, once I've done the other side, push this bit through, just get the saw in, and hopefully I'll just collapse it. But if you come round here, absolute mess of a workshop, I'm afraid. Let's have a go through. Now this is the other bedroom through. Sorry about it being so dark. Basically using it for storage at the moment, but I've just shifted everything to the other side of the room for now. I've just got to shift them poles. I think they might be acra props or something or other. No, they're not. I don't know what they are. Brian will have a clue. Again, window's broken, so that's going to be replaced eventually. I'll try and get that shutter up so I can get some light in. Yeah, so I'm going to start on here. Again, some really nice effect on the walls. So this is where the door used to be from the other side. I can actually see a raised bit here where it was. So I'll get these moved and make a start on this, and then we can have a big open bedroom. I'm definitely going to lower them ceilings though, the way I know that it's nice for high ceilings, but I might lower it a little.
We've just been to visit our friends, Nicole and Tony, and they've got their own veg garden, and they gave us all these yummy things. So I'm really, really happy, but I have got a bit of pepper envy because theirs are so nice and big and plump, and this one is mine. It's a bit thin. Yeah. So definitely going to ask them for some tips for next year's pepper plant. But oh, look at all that, it's beautiful. Thank you.
In Portugal, it's very difficult to get hold of copper pipe. It is possible, but they're very few and far between. Certainly don't sell it in the main hardware stores and things like that. So what they do have is this. It's called multi-camada, and all it is it's a layer of plastic, a layer of aluminium, and then another layer of plastic. The aluminium gives it much more strength. The plastic stops any metal tasting getting into the water. Dead easy to cut. You get one of these. These cost about £7 or £8, and you just ratchet it down. This will cut up a much bigger pipe, so there you go. And it literally just cuts through it like this. And once you've done that, you're left with a nice clean cut, but it might be slightly out of round. And also you've got flat edges, sharp edges, which are difficult to get onto the fittings. I'll show you them in a minute. But what you get in everywhere where you'll find a pipe, you'll find these. Around about €2.50, and different sizes for the different size pipes. But you've got this part which reshapes the pipe into a round shape, but at the bottom of it, I don't know if you can see on that, there's a couple of little metal cutters, and they just take the edges off the top. So all you do, you just push it in, and just turn it backwards and forwards until you start feeling it cut, and then pull it out. And what it does, it just puts a slightly raised edge on the inside and the outside. The most important is the inside bit, because on the fittings there's two little O-rings, and if you don't have that little radius, it pushes the O-ring back and doesn't make a proper seal. These are the fittings. They look very similar to a compression fitting in the UK, but the difference is when you take the nut off, you can see that you've got this spigot and you've got two O-rings on it, there and there. The rest of it is very similar to a compression fitting. You've got a nut that goes on, and you've got an olive, but the olive is split and it has little ridges inside, you can see them, and that grips the pipe. So as with copper pipe, you just put the nut on, and then you put the olive on like that, and then you push this in. Now this is where you need that radius on the inside, because otherwise those O-rings would get pushed. But otherwise, it shouldn't take a lot of effort. I mean, that's one finger. Pushes in, push it all the way home, push the olive down, do that, and then just tighten it up. Doesn't need to be sort of wound right up. Just a nip is enough, because all you're doing is holding it. You're not forming a seal. The seal is made by the rubber O-rings. It's a good system. These are a little bit expensive. Like a tea like that will cost you, I think, $3.99, something like that. You can get ones which use a crimp mechanism, which are a lot cheaper, but it costs about €80 for the tool to crimp them with. So unless you're doing a lot, it's not really worth it. But yeah, that's basically the system, and there's all different variations on elbows and half-inch BSP connectors, tap connectors, things like that. Yeah. The other thing with this pipework is it's bendable. You can bend it without any assistance, just with your hands. As long as you don't bend it too tight, you can bend it and it will stay in shape, which means you don't need as many fittings. It's quite useful. Plus, the less fittings you have, the less chances of leaks. Now what you can do is you can get a bending spring. Right, this is an external bending spring. You can get an internal one that goes inside the pipe as well, but they're a bit awkward to use, to be honest. But all it does, you slide it over the end, like that, and the metal in the spring just stops the pipe from deforming, so you can get a much tighter radius. So you can you can bend it sort of like that if you wanted to, if you had any reason to. And if you do it this tight, it gets a little bit awkward to get the thing off, but it got me. But that's the sort of how tight a bend you can put in it if you wanted to. And that's still full diameter all the way around. It hasn't collapsed, it hasn't kinked. So it has its advantages, it has its disadvantages, but it's okay. Personally, I prefer to use copper pipe and solder fittings, but it's not an option, so you deal with what you've got. Right, let's get some plumbing done. Now this multi-commando pipe, these are 25 metre rolls, and they are actually got measurements on them. So we've got here 19 metres, and on the next coil 21 metres. Basically that's the distance from the end. It's printed off in 25 metre rolls and then cut. So each time you can go, I never use them myself, but if you're doing a long run, you can go along the coil and go, right, 2 metre, 4 metre, 6 metre, 8 metre, and then cut it at the length you want, roughly, and then trim it once you've got it in position. Like I said, I tend not to use that. I'm not doing massive lengths, so it's easier just for me to measure it on the wall. Right, let's get some lined up. Now we're starting with this, and we want it approximately here, make it a little bit longer, and then we'll run it down the channel, and then roughly I'll get a gauge of where the bed wants to be, so it's about there, and pop the bending spring on. Now that's where we want the middle of the bend to be, so what the bending spring, so the centre of it is roughly there, about there, and then I can do a 90-degree bend. I want fairly tight. That should do. And then we take the spring off. Now we hold that in place. Is that about right? Yes. So then we can move further along the wall and get our final length. Now to open these, you just push them open like that, and then you can actually close them with your fingers to the point where it touches the pipe, and then just cut. Right, it's Tuesday today. We've got two little jobs to do. I started on Sunday trying to drill a hole for the drain for the vanity unit, and everyone's going fine, it's no problem. I've got a 45mm core drill, and that was going through lovely until it reached here, and then the drill chuck started hitting the ground because it's gone so far, gone that deep. Trouble is, I think there's about another 1.5 inches, 2 inches underneath it. So, easy problem to solve. I nipped out to Leroy Merlin today, and the replacement for that is this, $8.99, just a 350mm extension, and that just screws on in its place, and that'll go all the way through. That shouldn't be a problem. The other job we've got to do is for the extractor fan. We need to drill a 100 Well, it's a 100mm pipe, so we need to drill 105mm. So while I was in Leroy Merlin, I picked up that. That's 105. Comes with the shank already, and that was €18.99. So bargain, because we'll use that umpteen times, various bits, trunking and, you know, drains and stuff like that. Brilliant. Right, let's get these holes drilled and make a bit of noise. Now, anybody who's not used SDS drills before, you don't use a chuck like you remember them in school and things like that. You use a special notches in the drill bits, which locate with something in here. And these are just like a sort of bayonet fit. So all you do, you grab that part, pull down, you leave the gap, and then you pop it in and release. And that's it, that's inside. One thing, always grease these ends. Just put a little bit of, if you haven't got any grease, use a bit of oil. Just use something, because otherwise they get jammed. Just keep little smear of grease or a bit of oil, something, just to, so it'll do that. Right? This is the hole we're drilling. Now we've got about 4 inches deep, so we just need to finish that off. Now an SDS drill, most of them are very similar. You normally have a control on the top, and that will turn it from being like a jackhammer, where it just goes backwards and forwards, to being a drill where it turns and goes backwards and forwards. Basically, yeah, I'll show you. That's on spin, and if I turn that now, that won't spin, but the hammer action will still work. Yeah. So, that's a spin, and let's get this drilled out. There we go. That's gone all the way through, and I've lost my drill bit. That's in the garden somewhere. Let's show you this now. So there we go. That's a hole drilled right through the floor. We want it actually right about here. A mystery. We've got a power supply coming in. We'll centre it about here. Not too important. But there we go. Right, same again, but nice and slow. Right, take 2. Get a little bit more stable. And let's get this drilled out. If possible, I'm going to try and have a slight, not that much, but a slight tilt, so that any water that does come in through the vent drains back out again. Right, we've got to a point where we're about that deep. So this bit is pushing on the inside of the core drill. So we just get a chisel and we knock that bit out. Easy. There we go. Right. Well, we're through. Oh. There we go. Nice clean hole. We can run our extension through. Just a simple extractor. I like to get the ones with the string on, the switch. If you're having a bath or something like that, you might want it a bit quieter. Just turns that off while you're having a bath. Just makes it a bit nicer. Well, see if this fits in. Should do. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, no problem. Perfect. Now, we'll quickly run the lines for the shower. Just run them up to a rough position. Now what I've done is I've got a piece of wood and I've cut a couple of notches out of it, which are 150 millimetres apart. That is the spacing for the shower mixer and most standard bath taps here. It's 150 millimetres. Now that just keeps them the right distance apart. I've used a spirit level on the tops of them to make sure that the actual fittings are exactly level. And then I've just screwed that to the wall to hold everything in place. That's sort of clamped in. Now all I'm going to do, I made up some plasterboard adhesive and I'm just going to fill these in and sort of glue them into the wall. There's going to be a layer of plasterboard either side of it and then we'll skim it in finally. But for now, we just want to get everything stuck to the wall. So, just get a bit of this on. Push it into the gaps. Make sure it goes under the pipe with the cap. I'm only using plasterboard adhesive because I've got it to hand and it'll do the job. You could use sand and cement or ordinary plaster or all sorts of things really. I say these still a little bit proud because we've got a layer of plasterboard that's going to be going over there and that will bridge the gap. Yeah, that's fine. I don't really want to go any further than that. Let that all set off and we'll come back to that tomorrow. I may have seen Diane doing the chipping, or the results of Diane chipping the plaster off the narrow wall. Well, this is actually the room that it's going to be knocked into, and she's just about to start in here.
I was only recording the bottom half of me. I've got all my fancy equipment on. Because everything drops and cobwebs and nasty plaster gets into my hair and my hair's like full of rubble. So this is the what I put on. I've got my pickaxe, so I'm going to start make a little bit of a hole in here and work my way around. There we go. Oh, I hate the feeling. I just try and do a bit at a time really, because it's quite physical. So I just do a little bit each time. So I'll try and get to the end of the lats and try and pull them off, but I might just wait actually until I get a bigger chunk done. But I want to know which piece of wood is the good bit one that I want for the shelf in the kitchen. So I don't want to damage it like. Oh my god, there's a massive gap here. Actually, I should have just done that so I could see it proper. It's a huge hole. Might be able to pull some of these up in a bit. Oh my goodness. That's quite a gap. That was packed. That was packed with other wood, that. And I took it out when I did the other side. So we can see right the way through now. I can see daylight through the other side into the other room. Excellent. I've just been using this little crowbar to go underneath the lats because they're shaped. You got to sort of go in like that so you can hook it round. So I just give it a bash and then I can just pull them then. And I'll just sometimes you get lucky and you can pull it and some plaster falls off, but sometimes it's not all the time. There we go. They don't, I mean obviously the lats probably about 1 metre long, some of them are shorter. So, there we go. And if you can see the way that they're shaped, so flat on there, and they sort of slope upwards. And so when it's on the wall, it means that the plaster sort of sits inside and it bonds into it to make it solid. So, right. Try them there. to be a straight line. But I like to be neat. Right. Oh, it's one penny donk. Do too much because I've got to go to the dogs tomorrow and that always tires me out, so I have to be careful. Always when you start these projects, you've got to leave some energy for cleaning up, because the last thing you want to do is come back tomorrow or the next day and have to clean up before you start again. So leave a little bit in reserve. So I'm going to call it a day on the wall and get cleaned up, I think. So, you know, a little bit at a time. You don't want to kill yourself. I made that mistake with the bathroom, with the bath. So I've learnt my lesson. I couldn't move for 2 days. So I have to just take it easy. Take it easy. Now this isn't going to waste this, it's Brian's going to use all of this to do the drive at the sides of the house, so it's sort of packed down, so that helps with building the driveway so you don't have to get extra stuff. So if we can use stuff, if we can reuse stuff, we really do try to. Okay, let's see if we can rust up some more buckets. If you're ever doing renovation, you can't have enough buckets. You need more buckets. Whew.
Right, I'm having a rest after that.
Don't blame me.
I think we're just going to relax a little bit on the weekend.
So, thanks again for watching, and send your questions in for next week's question and answer.
Yeah,
Have a good weekend.
We'll answer most things.
Yeah, most things. Keep it clean, eh? Yeah, have a good weekend, and we'll see you all next week.
Bye guys.
Bye now.
Bye.